What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we have some more leaked gameplay information, again coming from an insider that has supposedly played the game. Now, as always, like I mentioned in all of my videos, always take this information as a pinch of salt, but of course in the last video where we did have the leaked gameplay information before the game was officially announced, it turns out about 90% of the information given was actually correct. So to dive into this stuff, it is a whole lot more in depth when it comes down to DLC content, the world in general, and a whole bunch more. So it does come from a B-Spin bulletin over on Reddit on the Marvel Avengers project, and there are loads of bullet points as you can see. So let's just dive straight into the first one, which is about the central protagonist being Kamala Khan, and that does say at the very latest early on. Now, the Avengers have been disbanded for a while due to a catastrophic event, and apparently Khan will serve an important role in reuniting the team. There's heavy story focus throughout, drawing more from the comics than the MCU. It can be played entirely solo, although you will control one character and the AI will control the others. Again, just a sort of recap if you guys weren't familiar with the previous leaked gameplay details, apparently there are supposedly anyway up to 6 playable characters. Now, of course, up to 4-player co-op, and again, this has kind of been leading into, you know, a big sort of discussion on how that is going to work, whether it's going to be side missions, etc, etc. Can you actually just go ahead and play throughout the entire story? Of course, that is yet to be confirmed. The crashed helicarrier will serve as your main hub. Kingdom Hearts like world/level design. Now, I've never really played that game. I see a lot of people play it and talk about it, so when I kind of hear that stuff, from what I've seen, I have a brief idea, but this does say, I think, multiple large worlds/one basically huge open world, and it is key that a lot of people do want this to be an open world game. It would be a big disappointment if there wasn't an open world, and again, as mentioned in a video before, because it's, you know, essentially not just focused in a city like, for example, the Spider-Man game, and except the universe, you're gonna have to essentially go to multiple different I guess places. A lot of people were saying kind of like No Man's Sky. I personally don't think that would work out, but it'd be interesting to see, and it would be great if there is this one huge open world that you can just go back to at any point, and that just constantly, I guess, kind of repeats itself with different side missions and random events. Now, the levels are large enough to accommodate fight-based heroes like Iron Man. Iron Man's flight feels significant because some characters cannot reach where he can, so instantly having, if it is in this case 6, I guess, playable characters, at least they will all have individual powers where you must use them, whereas having all players that essentially do the same thing but just have sort of, I guess, different powers in general, but that don't actually make a difference, if you see what I mean. So in this case, knowing that Iron Man's flight is basically significant, you know, will, I guess, sort of push you to, well, force you more or less as well to use him as a character. Now, there's no loot like you'd find in your typical looter shooter like Destiny. Everything is mostly power based, hence the character skill trees. For example, you won't be finding Iron Man thrusters on different rarities. Unless it is changed, Miss Marvel, Iron Man and Hulk will make up the team build early on. Shouldn't be massive gaps in unlocking heroes. You'll have your chance to play classic heroes soon enough. This isn't Square Enix's answer to the Destiny/The Division like many are speculating, and DLC will be like Marvel Spider-Man and Tomb Raider, and cosmetic packs, brackets free and premium. Of course, what would be really interesting, like I said, for Spider-Man, that I still think is a good idea, is if of course there was like a community kind of tab where it allowed other people, you know, around the world to kind of create something random, but if it gets a decent amount of votes, then of course it does get put into the game as a monthly suit or whatever it may actually be. But I guess if DLC isn't going to cost you, I'm happy with it either way. So, what do you guys think about this? As always, don't get your hopes up about this information, even though it does sound really interesting. This time next week, we would have seen, of course, our first ever official Avengers gameplay, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this turns out, how the open world will be, if there is going to be one big open world, and then how there will be multiple different locations. But again, you guys get in the comment section below, let me know. As always, subscribe for more awesome content if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and adios amigos.